Hello, I'm Mike.
And I'm Rich Evans.
And today we're here to talk to you about the new Han Solo standalone film.
That's right. Disney's Star Wars Han Solo solo film, Han Solo, A Smuggler's Tale. Or something stupid like that.
Now, we're not here to endlessly speculate about all the drama that's gone on behind the scenes.
Like how original directors Phil Lord and Christopher Miller were fired from the film after completing 98% of it and replaced with infamous Hollywood hack Ron Howard. And that's not fake news.
Or that the two lead actors were apparently so bad that they flew in a special acting coach just to show them how to act.
Or how original screenwriter Lawrence Kasdan was furious with Lord and Miller for turning his serious, dramatic Star Wars drama into a comedic farce, complete with fart and queef jokes.
Rich, there's always going to be some kind of drama behind the scenes of these terrible Star Wars films, but after the movie comes out, they'll just deny it ever happened. Everybody was just friends behind the scenes, and everything went fine. It's all going to be lies. Lies.
But Mike, if we're not here to pointlessly gossip about the film, what are we here for?
Well, Rich, after the embarrassing Star Wars porn that was Rogue One,
I can describe it in one word. Goosebumps.
I thought it might be fun for us to script our own Han Solo standalone film.
That's a great idea, Mike. We're not going to make predictions, but we're going to come up with our own lousy ideas and see which ones make it into the terrible Han Solo film.
Rich, I love this idea.
I know.
Well, Rich, we've both come back now, and we have ideas for what we would do if we were hired or forced by gunpoint by Disney to make a Star Wars Han Solo standalone film. We're going out along the mindset that the film will be centered around everything that Han Solo has done in the 3 Star Wars films that people know or recognize.
Well, his entire life story before A New Hope is going to be condensed into 90 minutes. But they're gonna start with Kid Han Solo, briefly. It'll be.
Oh, you think young Han Solo?
Well, you gotta have him being orphaned, right?
Yes.
Han Solo has to be an orphan.
Why?
Tragedy.
Who becomes a smuggler unless you're orphaned?
Right. Well, an epic smuggler, great character of all time, has to have an amazing backstory. He can't just have parents who loved him, but he wasn't that good in school, so he kind of dropped out, and he fell in with a bad crowd. You can't do that.
Okay.
His parents have to be members of the rebellion who get slaughtered by the Empire. And then this leaves Han Solo a little bit bitter towards causes.
Okay.
Causes just get you killed.
I'm going a little deeper here. His parents own and operate their own transport vessel.
Oh, okay.
And they let Han Solo pilot it every now and then, so that he learns to become a pilot. They're going to have a scene where his dad gives him some advice. It's going to be on the bridge of the ship. He's going to tell him only to look out for himself. The universe is a tough place, son. Don't trust anyone. Here's my opening sequence. After a little bit of establishment of Han and his parents.
Yeah.
Life is good. They have a transport ship. They have people on board. Here comes a Star Destroyer. And it's going to be the one, I guess, from the prequel era?
Yeah.
Maybe in between. In between.
It'll just flat out be the
Classic Star Destroyer.
Classic Star Destroyer.
And so the Empire boards the ship. And then they discover a bunch of hidden cargo and smuggling shit underneath the floor.
Okay.
Because that's where Han's going to learn to hide things under the floor.
Yeah.
Unbeknownst to Han, his parents are secret smugglers. So they get killed by the Empire. But Woody Harrelson is on board, who plays a character named Skippy or Woody, and then he's gonna take Han and escape. And he's going to essentially be the smuggler uncle.
Okay.
He's going to rescue Han, and Han's going to witness his parents being killed by the Empire.
Yeah, that's not too far from what I got. I don't know if Woody Harrelson's going to be actually blood-related or just somebody who takes Han under his wing, but yeah. Okay. He comes under the influence of a smuggler, Woody Harrelson, who is going to wield Han Solo's famous blaster pistol.
Oh, okay. So we're going back to where he got his blaster,
He
too.
gets his blaster from Woody Harrelson.
Okay, on that note, I have Woody takes Han under his wing to a secret life of smuggling. He gives him his famous smuggler's vest and says, every good smuggler needs a good smuggler's vest. And he's wearing the Han vest.
Yeah.
And maybe if it starts off with Han as a little kid, the vest is a little big. And then it does an Indiana Jones bit where, when you got heart, kid, and he puts the hat on Indy, and then it tilts up, and then Indy's on the ship. Do you remember this? Do you know what the I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know exactly
Okay.
what you're talking about.
It's going to do that with Han. He's going to wear the smuggler's vest. It's going to be a little big, and he's going to look up, and it's going to look up to Han, 20-year-old Han. Maybe he was 10 then.
Right.
Now he's 20, and then he's going to go like this, punched right in the face, and then there's going to be some kind of smuggler brawl. So we're going to jump from age 10 to age 20. Woody Harrelson's been raising him that whole
Yes. So you think it's going to be the vest? I figure it might be a little bit subtler. I think, that red stripe he's got along his pants?
Oh.
I figure that's the smuggler insignia.
Oh,
The
that's
smuggler's got the red stripe. It's a subtle little thing that the smugglers do. You're in the business.
okay. So we're gonna break down. He's gonna wear the same clothes his entire life,
Yes.
from 10 years old to age 68 when he falls off a bridge after his son stabs him with the lightsaber. Never much cared for styles of clothing. So, Rich, it's time to talk about the plot. I think we've set up our premise. I went with the smuggler parents. You went with Uncle Woody. Which
Uncle
is
Woody.
an unfortunate name. And now Han Solo is living the life of a smuggler. What's the plot?
He gets a job working for Jabba. Greedo, he gets a connection with Greedo, and Greedo introduces him to this fat slug, and we're gonna have this scene where we revisit Jabba's palace, because we haven't seen that since, Return of the Jedi.
I didn't think about Jabba's palace. Definitely Jabba's in the film.
Yes.
I'm going with, though, Jabba's a good guy.
Oh, he's gonna work for him.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I'm having that at the end of the film.
Oh, the working for Jabba at the end?
Yes.
Oh, I have it completely the other way around.
Okay. I have basically this. Woody has some kind of plot involving a big-time heist, which, is the premise of most kind of crime movies.
Yeah.
You need the big heist as the central point of the film.
I have the central point of the film being the cargo that Han Solo has to ditch that gets him in trouble with Jabba in the first place.
Oh, you think Jabba's going to be trying to collect his money for 35 years?
That'll be like the last act. No, I think they're gonna full out pull a Rogue One. It's gonna end right where A New Hope begins.
That is stupid.
This man's entire life, his entire fucking life is gonna be condensed into 90 minutes.
You're probably right. I think I'm not thinking stupid enough. I'm thinking set up a couple things.
Oh yeah, no.
And then leave yourself, you can have 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 Han Solo standalone films after this one. But you're right. It'll probably be like Rogue One, which is unfortunate. See, I'm thinking Woody Harrelson, AKA the mentor,
Yeah.
will be someone who ends up becoming shady and betraying Han. The switcheroo is pretty common in most heist movies.
Okay.
And that's where Han's going to get a little more jaded.
I don't have that being Woody. I think Woody's just gonna die. I think the betrayal is gonna come from love interest.
Oh.
A love interest is going to end up secretly being like a rebel spy. And then she's gonna take off with the money to fund the rebellion. She's gonna do something to benefit the rebellion at the expense of Han Solo.
In mid-film, Han is going to get captured. And this is where he's going to meet Chewbacca.
Chewbacca's going to be a spice miner. He's going to be forced prison labor. He's going to be wearing the exact same style of handcuffs that he wore in A New Hope while he's doing his digging, and that's going to be why Chewbacca hates those handcuffs in A New Hope.
That's brilliant.
Han Solo's going to unlock the cuffs, and Chewbacca's just going to take the handcuffs and throw them.
Okay, great. Will there be a scene where a stormtrooper is trying to put them on and they won't quite?
Right. They won't go on all the way.
Yeah,
Yes.
Okay. How about this? Han Solo and and Chewbacca are thrown in an Imperial prison together. And we have a scene where it's the first time they meet. Chewbacca's like in shadow,
Yeah.
like rim lit, you know, kind of like how he appears in the beginning of Return of the Jedi, and then here, and then Han Solo's like, oh my God, you know, there's a monster in here, and then he comes out and he goes, and then Han Solo goes, I'm sorry, what did you say? This good laugh moment.
Yeah.
And then they're stuck in the prison for months.
Oh wow, you think it's gonna be months?
And then they bond.
Okay.
I'm definitely thinking there's a scene where, because we haven't seen this yet, and they have to milk everything. The floating ball with the syringe on the end is going to come in with the truth serum and try and Vader's going to interrogate somebody.
With my theory of his entire life is 90 minutes, the heist you're talking about, it's gonna all be centered around the spice mines of Kessel.
Of course.
There's gonna be, the whole adventure is gonna be an adventure on planet Kessel where the spice mines are, and there's gonna be walkers on the surface of Kessel walking around.
But the whole film can't take place in one location. We have to go to 9 different planets. You understand that, right? We definitely have to go to Cloud City.
Okay.
And we definitely have to go to Tatooine because we have to go back to the Mos Eisley Cantina.
I don't. Well, yeah, I think the canteen is going to be early at the beginning of the film and at the end when he meets Jabba for the first time to get employed as a smuggler. Okay. I don't know where they're going to work in Cloud City, but I admit they have to do it.
You got a lot of guts coming here.
Because he's already going to be on Cloud City. Lando has done nothing but Cloud City before Empire.
No, I disagree. That's so terrible. You might be right, but I'm going to have to disagree. Lando runs on Cloud City. He's the administrator of a mining facility.
Okay.
So that will mean that Lando will be digging around on Kessel for those spices.
This mining operation.
He's going to be a budding entrepreneur running a mining operation on Kessel when he gets wrapped up in the smuggler game with Han Solo. Lando is a wild card in this, definitely flying. See, at first I thought Lando is going to be flying around in the Millennium Falcon with Chewbacca.
Yeah.
And Chewbacca kind of comes with the ship. But I did do a little bit of Wikipedia research, and I know that's all out the window at this point.
Yeah.
It has Han rescuing Chewbacca from a space prison, and Chewbacca owes him a life debt. That's why he's best friends forever. And I think that's just terrible.
He owes me what you call a life debt.
I think it's more terrible than what will actually be in the film.
The bet that Han gets the Falcon from, that's all going to be part of the same Kessel Run heist. It's all going to be tied together in the same fucking thing.
Yes. Now let's just do the real story. I mean, not the real story, the Wikipedia version.
Oh yeah.
Which is terrible. The line in Empire is your ship.
Hey, remember, you lost her to me fair and square.
So, of course, nerds on the internet created the Wikipedia, or nerds that wrote Star Wars books. Of course, you won her from me, must have been a bet.
Yeah.
They never really say card game, but that's what nerds wrote on the internet. Sabacc was a card game played in the galaxy. A Sabacc deck comprised a number of face cards, 4 suits, 15 pip cards, blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah. Sabacc's special table in a suspension field. Sabacc's player's goal was generally potential winning hand could generally a handful of cards. That generally constituted winning hand. Unbelievable. Several variants of Sabacc. That hand could only be beaten by one such variant. 0 called and 3. And Solo kept the pair of golden dice used in that game. That's boring, and that's stupid.
Yeah, but considering this is something that is never meant to be, it was never meant to have been seen on screen, I'm okay with Han Solo winning the Falcon in a space poker game.
But not in the movie.
No, the movie, it's going to have to be more epic than that.
Yes, and by epic, we're talking about the Kessel Run.
The Kessel Run, this is just going off, I'm adding some of this based on what you think, like with meeting Lando on Kessel because he's got the mining equipment. They're gonna make some kind of bet like there during the heist, like who gets out with the most spice or who gets out first or something. But the bet's gonna be involved on the same Kessel Run that the Falcon sets the record for.
The Kessel Run was smugglers stealing or smuggling illegal spices from Kessel to somewhere, and it was an illegal trading route. So it would be like the ship that did it the fastest, and that's boring.
No, because a parsec is not a measurement of time; it is a measurement of distance. I think near the end of the film, with the people, the Star Destroyers, the Imperials are going to be chasing Han Solo with Chewie and Lando and the girl and the Falcon from Kessel, and he's going to try and lose them by flying close to a black hole, which will condense the space, allowing the Falcon to make the trip in less space, thus a shorter distance. And
Wow,
then
Rich.
this Star Destroyer that's following them, it's gonna get too close, and you're gonna see it get sucked into the black hole. It's gonna like get ripped apart.
That's an interesting theory, and that's almost too interesting and cool. I think with the parsec acknowledgement, it's going to be wink wink.
Okay.
I like your idea about a distorting black hole tearing apart a Star Destroyer, but I'm afraid that's a little too clever.
But they do like visual spectacle, and that's visual spectacle.
Speaking of visual spectacle, my prediction for the Kessel Run is a space drag race.
Okay.
Let me elaborate.
Okay.
Other than the pod race in episode 1, The Phantom Menace, we haven't really had the ending, the climax of a film be like an exciting chase. It's always been fighting the Empire. Got to blow up the thing. I think that the Kessel Run will be the Kessel Run, but it's going to be a whole bunch of smugglers in different ships all racing through some kind of crazy, complex run. And that's going to be the exciting ending. And there's going to be a little bit of a twist. Lando will be flying the Millennium Falcon when it makes the Kessel Run.
Oh, because it just says the ship that
Han
made the
says
Kessel
it's
Run.
the ship that made the Kessel Run.
It's the ship that made the Kessel Run in less than 12 parsecs.
It's going to be like, whoa! And I have a feeling that the Kessel Run will tie in with the exciting conclusion of the film.
Yeah.
Han will be flying some other kind of spaceship. It's going to be like a junky spaceship, and he's going to be like competing with Lando. Lando's going to be kind of his competition
You're
through the
right.
film. And Lando's going to be like, yeah, fuck you, Han. I'm going to go faster and faster. And Han's going to keep trying to catch him because he has to warn him about something, like a bomb or the Empire's coming. It's a trap. All that stuff. Oh, we'll have young Admiral Akbar in it.
Oh my God! I didn't even think
He'll
to
be a
have
smuggler.
Akbar in
I
it.
just thought about it. He's going to go, it's a trap. Young Admiral Akbar is going to be like a cool guy. He's going to have bell bottoms and like a hip outfit, and he's going to be like
He's gonna have an earring.
a big earring. Yeah, and he's going to be early days of smuggling before he joined the military.
Before he worked his way up to admiral in the next 5 years.
So all these different pilots are going to have their own ships, and they're all going to be trying to make the Kessel Run. But there's going to be some kind of plot involving bounty hunters and the Empire and some kind of trap.
Okay.
And so it's Lando, and Lando makes the Kessel Run in 12 parsecs because he's trying to outrun Han. Han's really not trying to beat him. He's trying to warn him something bad's about to go down. And it's going to be this exciting chase sequence. It's going to end in some kind of space battle probably, but there's going to be a big space race because we haven't had a race in space. They did this on an episode of Star Trek Voyager. They go in there's like the space race with all these different like alien cultures, and they all have their own little like two-seater crafts. And Captain Janeway's like, we're gonna do it as a
You're right.
cultural exchange. And something happened, but it was just terrible. Wikipedia says he was born on the planet Corellia, and then the Millennium Falcon is a Corellian YT class freighter or something like that.
Yeah.
Is it weird that Han Solo was born on the same planet that some random ship that he flies later in life comes from?
Here's where you're confused. Han Solo said Corellia once, and Star Wars fans have no creativity.
I've outrun Imperial starships. Not the local bulk cruisers, mind you. I'm talking about the big Corellian ships now.
So now Han Solo is from Corellia.
Okay. Even though he won the ship from Lando.
It's coincidence.
Okay. It's like if you drive a Ford, you're from Detroit?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry, I have a correction. I just said the Millennium Falcon was a YT freighter. It's technically a YT-1300 492-727
You gotta get that right. You gotta get that right.
I know.
What's Han Solo gonna be flying beforehand? Something new they made up, or what ship can they reference?
I thought of something so stupid. He's flying Slave One.
I thought of that.
Oh my God.
I fucking thought of that!
And then Boba Fett steals it from him.
Yes! Yes, that's the ship they can share. Yes!
It's so bad it's gonna happen.
We both had that, so it's definitely gonna happen. That was so stupid, I didn't put it in my notes, but I thought of it last night.
And I thought of it too. Which means some terrible hack screenwriter thought of it as well. Oh, possibly Jabba will have arranged the space race as a big kind of betting thing, because Jabba was kind of overseeing the pod race in episode 1.
I think, even though this makes no sense, in Jabba's palace, he's gonna have a trophy room full of people frozen in carbonite.
Oh.
The people who have failed him. This could happen to you, be careful.
Even though it makes no sense, yes. Let's talk about Carbonite. I always interpreted the carbon freezing room as some sort of industrial thing.
That's how they transport the gas. They have to freeze it in the carbonite instead of putting it in a container.
Yes, and they just let's put a person in there. But I predict that Lando Calrissian will have a carbonite freezing gun.
That is so dumb it has to happen.
Because maybe he later comes up with the carbonite freezing technology.
Is it going to turn people into you going to get the whole bar, or are they just going to look like a massive
It won't
around?
look, yeah, it'll be like it'll go, and they'll turn that ugly brown color.
Yeah.
But it'll be all jagged around the edges and stuff. It won't have the control panel and
Right.
That's the technology later. On Tatooine, Han will bump into a 5-year-old boy, and Han will say, "Watch where you're going, kid." Then a man off screen will say, "Come along, Luke. I've got to get back to your Aunt Beru." And then the audience will go, "Oh, that's Luke. That's Luke Skywalker. That's young Luke Skywalker." He'll run off, and we'll hear a little bit of Luke theme, and then boom, someone will bump into Han. "Watch where you're going."
See, I don't think they can resist having this movie end exactly where Han Solo is at the cantina scene in A New Hope. The last shot's gonna be him sitting in this booth.
You think so?
While Chewbacca walks away to talk to an old man in a robe.
No.
Maybe they won't go so far as to have Obi-Wan talking to Chewbacca,
Okay.
but it'll be Han Solo sitting in the booth in the exact same pose he's lounging in. I think they're going to ignore the age difference. I think he's just going to be sitting there before A New Hope.
No. Oh God, I'm on the fence about this. I have a feeling they're definitely going to the Mos Eisley Cantina, and we're definitely going to see a lot of the same familiar faces.
We're going to see that band.
But Han is going to get into a bar fight, and he's going to get his ass kicked, and it's going to be a really night and day example of Han before fucks the place up and flips the bartender a coin.
Yeah.
Nobody messes with him. To young Han, out of his element, kind of like how Luke gets beat up by the guy with the fucked up face.
Yeah.
You don't belong here. And
You got a lot to learn, kid.
that kind of thing, yeah. Han's going to get his ass kicked by, I want to say it's the same guy.
They just did him in Rogue One.
So it's going to be
Hammerhead.
it's going to be somebody else.
Or Wolfman. Well, they don't use Wolfman.
They CG'd out him in the, it's going to be some creature that beats up Han. Maybe he'll run into Lando here. There's a whole lot of possibilities in The Empire Strikes Back when the Millennium Falcon lands inside the belly of a space monster. And Han Solo goes, "Oh, Mynock." It shows he's familiar with Mynock.
Mynock. Chewie, check the rest of the ship. Make sure there are no more attached.
Will Mynock be in this film?
They might be in the spice mines.
Okay.
The
That's
spice
good.
mines will be full of Minox.
Okay, and a couple of them will they'll have a scene where they have to run from Minox and
Right,
they're
right.
flying everywhere.
They'll be running from someone, and the Minox will be like, he'll like shoot the wall, and the Minox will fly down, and they'll fly in like the stormtrooper's face
There you
while
go.
everyone's
Yes.
escaping.
They'll get caught up in the engine of
Right.
Boba Fett's ship who's trying to get them.
Yeah,
So-
Minox sucked into the engine. One will like startle him early on in the Kessel sequence, and then later on he'll use that knowledge to his advantage.
Very good, very good.
I can visualize that whole sequence. I can see it in my brain. I've already seen the movie.
But I think the most important thing is that all of the famous aspects of Han Solo, winning the Millennium Falcon from Lando, the Kessel Run, and the cargo that Han Solo loses that angers Jabba, all the same adventure. There's got to be some kind of like Jedi thing here somewhere, right?
I have an idea.
Like someone they escaped with from the spice mines, one of the prisoners was a Jedi who got imprisoned after the Clone Wars. So they have an excuse for him to whip out a lightsaber at some point. He'll have to die during the adventure, but they meet a Jedi on Kessel.
That's terrible. That's how we could tie Vader into the plot.
Okay.
He's hunting down one of those last Jedis.
Okay.
Maybe Han Solo has to smuggle a Jedi.
That's the cargo that he's got to go to Kessel for. It's not really the spice. That's just a little side thing. But he's hired to rescue the Jedi who's imprisoned.
The Jedi is in like a stasis chamber, and Han Solo's trying to get him to Tatooine.
Is the stasis chamber carbonite?
Oh my God.
Is there going to be a sequence where they have to free a Jedi who's frozen in carbonite?
Yes. They got to get this Jedi to Tatooine because the Jedi wants to talk to Obi-Wan.
Oh.
And then I'm talking about a Ewan McGregor cameo at the end.
I have sensed the presence of a Jedi on Kessel, Lord Vader. He's hiding in the space mines.
I will get him and kill him with my lightsaber, my master.
Be careful, Lord Vader. There are lots of smugglers. They may try to smuggle him out for a price.
I understand the premise of the film, my master. That or I was thinking that amongst all the stolen, smuggled goods, there is an old lightsaber that perhaps was owned by a Jedi, one random Jedi, that has somehow been dispersed through the galaxy, and Han Solo picks it up and uses it during one scene, awkwardly, because we learn in Empire that Han Solo does indeed know how to turn on and use Luke's lightsaber. So Han Solo will pick it up and use it awkwardly because he has to. It'll be an inverse of the Obi-Wan Kenobi scene in Revenge of the Sith when Obi-Wan is without his lightsaber and has to use a blaster.
So uncivilized.
And he'll use it, and maybe he'll be real bad with it, and he'll just throw it away, and
Right.
he'll be like, I prefer a blaster. Reverse it up!
He'll be fighting a baby Rancor. And his blaster will get knocked out of his hand.
And he'll knock over a bin of stuff, and it'll be there.
I got it. There's gonna be a Rancor cave on Kessel. This will be where Jabba gets his Rancor. He'll take one of the Rancors with him. Yes.
Yeah, we'll get a younger version of the big beer belly guy. Who's raising the Rancor, and Jabba will say, how much for the Rancor? So in Jedi, little does Han know that the Rancor that he fought years ago is downstairs in the basement of Jabba's palace. Nice pet you got there. He'll say that to the guy.
Yeah.
And here comes the Rancor. We hear, that's a bait and switch for the audience. We hear the roar of a Rancor, and Han goes like this, and then we have a shot, and then the camera pans down, and we see a little one. It's just a baby. And then it starts running at him really fast, and he goes, "Ah!" So the Jedi angle then is either smuggling a Jedi in Carbonite, because Lando shows Han how to carbon freeze somebody. He can't have any life signs. We gotta freeze him. Let's use my Carbonite freezing gun. If he survives the freezing process, there's this guy named Kenobi on Tatooine. He wants to reach him for some reason. We gotta smuggle him through the Kessel Run. Jabba's doing that big race. It's the perfect time. There'll be so many other ships going.
I sense the presence of a Jedi on Kessel.
It's done. We got it.
We got it.
We got it.
Got it,
We
ladies
got
and
it,
gentlemen.
folks.
We got it. At least we got a bunch of ideas.
We are 95% correct. I can feel it.
And we'll, you know what? We'll throw in the Jedi Carbonite smuggling plot, and we'll also have a scene where Han Solo awkwardly uses a lightsaber to
Well, that's-
fight off a baby Rancor.
If that's gonna be in like the Jedi's possessions, that's where he gets the drone. It's got all of his personal effects.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
What's this lousy thing?
Some kind of sword?
I'll take a good old blaster any day. It's too perfect.
Yeah.
I know I want to see this film. I went into this having absolutely no interest at all, and now it's movie of the year.